Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. Was good. So this morning we wake up to more tariff stuff. So as if the market didn't already take a hit, now we've got to deal with somebody yapping about tariffs and bringing the market down again. Yay. So the dip that we had already had, right? Remember what I told you? Get to understand the rhythm of everything, right? And then so we already were dealing with bad news, and now we get more bad news. So that's what we're experiencing right now. Not to mention it's Friday, and a lot of people normally sell on Fridays, but you're also getting a lot of people that are looking at this dip and saying, oh, sure, while you people exit the ship, we're going to be buying more tickets. And that's also what I'm seeing. So the market might be down in the open market, but on the OTC institutional side, which I think is now overdone in a different kind of way, they're buying. You have a lot of people, a lot of companies that are buying. My issue with it is that they're buying huge amounts of whatever crypto they're interested in, and not a single bite of it is actually on the open market. Think about that. So it doesn't affect price, so they can lock in their price. And it's not illegal or anything like that. I'm just not a fan of it. I think there should come a point where you're done with the backdoor deals, right? And that's a problem for us. Also, don't forget to invest in yourself today. So we're dealing with that, and that's awesome that, we're dealing with tariffs on pharmaceuticals. If you don't, move your manufacturing plants here to US and blah, 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 that's great. But notice how the conversation is around the physical structures. They're not around the jobs. You should pay attention to that. Why? Because manufacturing left the United States because we gave that business away. We gave that away. And now we're trying to, roughshod and bring it back. Cool, but to bring it back, it's not going to be the same. I keep saying this, everybody. There's a massive amount of automation that's being leveraged in these plants, in these manufacturing plants. Massive amounts. So what could have been 100 jobs back in the day, for example, probably only going to be a fraction of that now. These are just facts. Where you had a whole bunch of people. Remember back in the day, you go to the pharmacy and they're actually, pressing pills and all that kind of stuff. There are machines that do that now. There are machines that feed the machines all the chemicals they need to make whatever pills they're making. There's a huge amount of automation now than there was back in the day when we, basically surrendered manufacturing of almost everything out there. Okay? So that's something to contemplate. So when you're trying to force everybody to come back, whether it be pharmaceuticals, cars, whatever, when you're forcing everybody to come back, you have to recall that, well, we need training. And remember, we just chased out a whole bunch of people that were training us to build cars. And we're shutting down things that actually bring a lot of jobs to a lot of places that absolutely need them. So you shut down renewable energy because you don't like renewable energy. Why wouldn't you like renewable energy? And we have a huge energy gap. Huge. And it's going to get bigger over the next few years because we are not thinking forward. We did not think forward. Right? And it's all because, everybody wants a new data center because we need more AI and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, remember back in the day when every manufacturing building was responsible for creating its own energy? Remember that back in the day? So if you have every company that's running locally its own implementation for AI, what do you get? You get greater efficiency in all that. Just saying, there are things that we can do to get around this. So everybody crying about, we need more energy, we need more energy. Yes, we do. But we can curb that doing certain things. Just saying, just an idea. Thinking about creating a robot detail service. It would cost you way more money than it would to actually do it. Because remember, you have to have that robot go inside the car and detail everything. And I don't think a robot is capable of doing that right now. Or let me rephrase, robots are capable of doing it, but do you have the money to have a robot do it? So you might want to rephrase that to be an exterior detail service. That might do it. But there are already robots and machines that do that. So are you really detailing if that's all you're doing? Just saying. The detail part is about the inside, not really about the outside. Outside, yeah, it's nice. You get it shiny, like showroom finish shiny. Yeah, that's nice, but it's really about the inside of the car. That's where detailing really makes a difference. So there's that. HSBC and IBM. Wow, listen to this. HSBC and IBM achieved a 34% boost in bond trading success rates using hybrid quantum and classical computing. That is huge. Number one, it makes HSBC the first to leverage this kind of technology in the wild. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see other banks follow along. That's going to be nuts. Oh my God, my son's a pain in the tail. I'm going to punch him in the neck. Children these days. Nothing bad, just good stuff. But kids. So when I'm looking at HSBC and IBM with this new quantum computing classical hybrid situation, helping them to create their bond algorithms, and they were able to boost returns by 34%. Huge news. And yes, you will see other banks look into this. That's a very big deal. Huge big deal. So now I'm starting to see, well, that's a positive thing in the tech space. Nothing to do with crypto, but has everything to do with the tech space, NASDAQ, NYSE, things starting to look up because others are going to be looking into that. Sony Bank spinoff Block Boom subsidiary launches a regulated blockchain sandbox in Japan focusing on NFTs, digital assets, and DeFi. Yeah, Sony Bank said, oh yeah, you're down, you're grown, go do that. Make mama proud. That's no joke. I'm looking, again, I tell people all the time, I'm looking for infrastructure moves like that. Infrastructure moves like that. Very big deal. Citigroup is predicting they had a I think a $1.5 trillion mark on stablecoins. They've moved it up to 1.9 by 2030. By 2030. And I think they're right. I think it's going to be the positioning of stablecoins and the uses of stablecoins. And what they're all missing is that they still need to get retail involved. That big boom in retail adoption has not happened yet. The next big boom will be that. It will absolutely be that. Bitwise files for hyperliquid ETF, even though there's oncoming competition from Aster. Who cares? There's more than enough business out there for another DEX. I don't know why people are freaking out. Uniswap is still here. You know what I mean? PancakeSwap is still here. All these companies are still here. What are you whining about? I like the competition, and I think that's going to do well. KuCoin challenges a $1.5 million Canadian AML penalty, AML, anti-money laundering. Right? They were penalized. That was spoken about yesterday. And then arguing its classification as foreign money services business is flawed. Foreign money services business. You know, every time I turn around, I'm beginning to think Canada's not really crypto friendly like at all. I think they're being dragged to the well. You know what I mean? I think they're being dragged over because, woof. Japan's Bank of Japan faces conflicting pressures, just like the Fed. Just like the Fed. I'm telling you, people need to stop and think about the job of the Fed and why it's important that it's independent. They've got pressures to deal with on both sides that make you say, should we lower rates? Should we leave them the same? Should we raise them? What's our mandate? What's the balance that we're looking for? When they say they want to hold inflation at 2%, what they're saying is that we're looking for a balance of good jobs numbers and good inflation numbers. A balance. Not this, balance. That's what they're looking for. And that's not easy. And Bank of Japan is going through the same thing right now. Pay attention to global economies. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Like today, I'll be going through and I'll be looking over the portfolio because, things are down and looking kind of tasty. So I'm probably going to get in on some stuff. China's digital yuan operations center in Shanghai signals a challenge to the US dollar. Really? No joke. Huh? Yeah. Telling you, if I look at BRICS, I think the yuan could be their choice. Or not necessarily their choice, but their given choice. Like China's probably the strongest one out of all of them. Who would have thought many years ago that Russia would be playing third fiddle to China? It's US and China, and then Russia. But Russia's also testing NATO borders, and now they're talking some nonsense about, well, if you shoot down our drones, that's an act of war. If we shoot down your drones within our airspace, that's not an act of war. You being in our airspace is an act of war. We're performing a defensive move. Apparently there were jets scrambled in Alaska because Russian bombers were flying just a little too close. They're not getting it. Russia's trying to make noise. Russia wants a bigger, longer war. Why is that? Oh, that's right. Because their economy sucks and they don't want to bring anything to it. Good morning, Rick Ritchie. And I don't think I said good morning. Good morning, Hutanik. You've got TerraWolf securing a $3 billion funding raise via Morgan Stanley. Big deal. Why? They want to build out data centers. How are they going to do that? With Google's help. Pivoting crypto mining to fuel AI growth, marking a shift toward data center dominance and blockchain AI collaboration. Yeah, it's going to be big. Good morning, Corey. It's going to be big. Just saying, pay attention to these things. They're not small. These are not small things. Let's see what else. The SEC and FINRA investigating crypto trading tied to companies' digital asset treasury strategies. Right? Because there's a boom before they do the treasury thing. So they're looking into that. Yikes. Because there's a ridiculous number of companies that are changing the business that they're in and saying, oh, we're a crypto treasury company now. What does it even mean? What does that mean, buddy? What does that mean? You were this business the day before, and now you're this business today. Huh? Yeah. I was wondering how long it was going to be before somebody started looking into that. And as they're looking into that, I'm going to be surprised if they don't find a couple of things. I'll actually be shocked. What else is there? Because think about how it happened. Back in the day when you said you were going to become a crypto treasury firm, your stock would just explode. And they're looking at your stock exploding and where the money was flowing to and from. Yeah. BlackRock notes crypto ETFs are in early stages despite retail interest, citing Ethereum staking limitations and cautious expansion, while highlighting stablecoins' potential to revolutionize finance. Wow. I know I'm making a face, but okay. No shock. No shock there. And I think the reason why they're saying it is to reiterate, hey, look, listen. You people have no idea. We're just at the beginning. We're just at the beginning. And it's going to become, we're at the beginning now, and at some point it'll become normalized. And then the focus will be where? I mean, the focus is becoming more and more and more in this direction, but it's still got a long way to go, right? But the focus is going to shift all the way over to real world assets and tokenization. That's where you're going to see massive impact. Massive impact. And that's going to drive a lot of retail adoption. Just saying, pay attention. There are opportunities to make millions before that happens. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. I keep saying it, I'll keep saying it, and I hope you do it. Russia has a 20% debt to GDP, while US has 123 debt to GDP. Yeah, Go do more research. Russia is hurting in their economy. Everything that you stated was true, by the way. But who has money in Russia? Yeah, their people don't. A UK energy firm converts standard natural gas into Bitcoin via in-field computing. Imagine. Extra energy being used to mine. Interesting. Very interesting. You want to know something else that's interesting? Jim Cramer warns American Bitcoin ABTC investors could face total loss as the market plunges, despite institutional backing and audits emphasizing speculative risks. He says the whole thing is speculative. Yeah. Because the new regime and their family, they don't bring anything to the table except name. They don't bring anything to the table except for marketing. So yeah, that could be a problem. That could wind up being a problem for people. Well, I think they're overstepping their opportunity. We'll see what happens. But Jim Cramer could be correct. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the news. We should get into the numbers. So let's switch on over. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me fix that. There you go. Get my notes out of the way. Dow futures implied open up 60. S&P implied open a $1.50 negative. That's unchanged. Nasdaq implied open negative 40.75, basically unchanged. Oil down 0.17. U.S. 10-year up. U.S. oil down, 0.19, and U.S. 10-year down up 0.005. Interesting. And look at that. U.S. to impose 100% tariff on branded patented drugs unless firms build plants locally. Yikes. Yikes. So let me talk about tariffs on top of a government shutdown, where I'm trying to point the finger to people, but everybody now knows whenever I use the T word, the market's going to plunge. Not the brightest decision with that one. Yeah, Barnes & Noble, Education, Golden Matrix Group, let's see, Taylor Devices. Yeah, there's nobody else I really care about. And what's going on today? Not much. Yesterday was a big day. Today, not much. A little bit of Fed speak, personal income, personal spending, PCE index, core PCE, Richmond Fed speak, consumer sentiment. I think we're going to start seeing different numbers out of consumer sentiment. Ongoing, I think that's what we're going to start to see. Fear and greed index is all the way down to 28. We were at 44 yesterday. Yeah, the market's tanked. The market has tanked. DeFi Llama, total value locked, $148.152 billion in total value locked. A hair away from that 150 mark that I like to be at. Right now, Bitcoin is, ooh, do you see what I see? This trend line, and now we're below the trend line. And we're below my 109.337 mark right here. See that band? I go from 109.337 to 123.192. That's the band we normally trade in, and here we are revisiting these numbers below. We need to maintain in that band, and we've broken through this trend line. Like Rick Ritchie says, a trend line is your friend until it's not. And there you go. We're far away from where we were before. And now we're dipping below. We'll come back. We'll absolutely come back. We'll pick a bottom. It'll bounce. It'll come back. Right now, people like me are saying, oh, is that what we're doing now? Oh, we're going to go in and we're going to go buy more. When there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own, I jump in. When I can, I jump in. Look at how red the world is right now. Ethereum on sale, XRP on sale, below $3. Come on. You can't tell me that's not a sale price. Cardano, less than 80, sale price. Link, $20, sale price. Shiba Inu, down. Solana, if you're into that kind of thing, down. BNB, down tremendously. It's 10% down over the past couple of days. Yeah. So but remember, just a little while ago, we were looking at 900, like, oh my gosh, it's over 900. Woo! Yeah. Pay attention. So I'm not stressed at all. Look at Aster. Aster was down. Okay. Look where it is. I don't think it has much further to go before it hits the bottom. And I think when it goes lower, I'm just going to buy more. Might even buy some more Hyperliquid. Definitely going to buy some more Link. Definitely going to buy some more BTC. I'm hyper focused on Bitcoin at the moment. But look at this across the board. Now, here's why I don't cry about it. Bitcoin year to date still up. Excuse me, still a little tired. Ethereum year to date still up. XRP year to date still up. BNB year to date still up. Solana, they're almost flatlining right there. They're almost flatlining, but still technically up. Right? Doge down. Right? Cardano down. Below that, green line at year to date. But Hyperliquid, still up year to date. I don't know why people are freaking out. And are you watching Athena USDE just continuously moving up and moving up? Yeah. Pay attention. I'm telling you. When you see stable coins moving, it's because they're being used. Athena's being used. Athena USDE is being used. Chainlink, still something I want. Avalanche. Oh, Avalanche has got news. I'm all about Avalanche. I'm definitely into Stellar. Let's take a look at what my losers are today. Come on now. One more time. There you go. So Avalanche down 10.41% with a GMB X factor 4.23. I still love Avalanche. Aster down 10.15%, GMB X factor of 0.33. Now you know why I would buy Avalanche. It's still floating near its all-time high. I can get in at this $1.81. It's probably going to go down to as low as $1.70, $1.75. I'll get in. I'll go get some more. It's above where I originally got in, but if it's going to go back to that $2.99 mark, yeah, just saying. And I think it'll go higher. So there's that, right? Because my GMB Y factor says it's going to go higher, and I've got a number for that higher. Let's see. Flare is down 6.85%. GMB X factor 5.32. Pudgy Penguins is down 6.67%. GMB X factor of 1.58. Yeah, now you know why I still like Pudgy Penguins. Radium is down 5.596 to be exact. GMB X factor 5.71. Jupiter is down 5.38. GMB X factor of 3.68. I think Jupiter can come back. I think it's a possibility. Solana is down 5.22. GMB X factor of 0.53. Just saying, pay attention to opportunities. Opportunities don't come often, but when they do, take advantage. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's the GMB3. Practice GMB3. Go buy the book. It's a big book, written by yours truly. See, in case you don't believe me. Just saying, Go buy the book. Want to get a baseline education? Go buy the book. Just saying. And yes, we will be reintroducing classes, but we have a little bit of work to do on the platform, and that's what we're focused on. I will take AVAX over XLM. I'm happy for you. I would take both. People sleep on XLM, and I don't know why. I think it's funny, actually. I really do think it's funny. Let's see. Stellar is at above, a happy number at 5.23% year to date, and Avalanche is negative for the year. Yes, Avalanche is moving up. I'm still saying it's within this range. Look at this range from 15 billion down to 10 billion. Look at it. Look how tight everything is. Yeah, I'm fine with it. In terms of priority long, I'm telling you, they serve different purposes. I would get both. I understand your thought. I understand your train of thought. I would still get both. Different things. Different things. Right? XLM Stellar is focused on retail movement of value. Right? Avalanche is being leveraged for gaming and tokenization. Different things. Yeah. So that's what I'd be looking at. One of the reasons why people are leveraging Avalanche for tokenization, because it's so easy to work with. That's why. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community, because we are growing, and we're going to hit that 25,000 mark. We are well above 23,000. We're well above 23,000. We're quickly approaching 24,000. So we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely thank you for your trust. Everybody, I'll see you tonight, 8 p.m. for Friday Flips, where we talk about almost anything in the world of investment. Have a good one. Bye-bye.